Hi, I am Jo from Rocky Hound Dog Training, and the video today is going to focus on the topic of portion control. In a time where weight management in dogs and the increase of cases of obesity in dogs have become really concerning to vets, I think that we need to start as pet dog owners to start right at the beginning, which would be calorie intake. And we do that by really sticking to portion control. Quite often, I've asked owners, how much do you feed your dog? Especially if the topic of weight management comes about. And the answer would be, oh, a cup. And then if I ask, how much does that weigh? How many grams is that? They would say, well, I don't know, I just give them a cup. There's no way to know if you just go on a guesstimate how much your dog is being over or underfed. So, what I want you to take notice of is that every food manufacturer on the container or the packaging of that food will give a guideline as to how much to be fed per day. So say for instance of a dog of 25 kilo, in this dog food that I have in here, food A, the recommendation per day for a dog of 25 kilo will be 250 grams. So if I halve that and I give 2 portions a day, which is what I do, it will be 125 kilo per day, 125 grams per day. Goodness, we don't want to feed him that much. 125 grams per day. So what I did a little bit earlier was I measured out how much 125 grams would be, and I put this marker on the container. So if I fill this up to the top of the blue mark, my dog will get 125 grams. So I'm going to feed him this twice a day. If, however, I now change dog food and I go from food A to food B, I once again go to the guidelines of that manufacturer. In this instance, for food B, the guideline states that I have to feed 300 grams per day. So 150 grams twice a day. I did the same exercise, I weighed it up and I marked it, which is the top of this black mark. So if I feed him food A, it will be food up to the top level of the blue mark. If I feed him from food B, that will be the indication, the top of the mark of the black there. So important that you do that for every dog. Every time you get a new food or from a new manufacturer. I quite often just put a marker on. We've got multiple dogs, so quite often I have 3 different marks, one for each dog, and I use the same container. So what now if you also use food for training, or every now and then you give a treat just because they are good boys and girls? Well, what I recommend you do, depending on the distraction of that environment, I recommend that say you're working in a low distracting environment and you're training, that you take food from this allocation, that 125, and you take some of this food and you do your training with that. However, what if you use different treats and other ways of food reward during training, be it sausage or cheese or salami or whatever? What I would recommend is that you adjust the daily quantity ever so slightly to just allow for that extra calorie intake that they get through training rewards and just general treats. Obviously, keep an eye on it, keep your treats moderate, okay? And as I said then, for training, I would really recommend that you use food out of this allocation. One of our biggest responsibilities is looking after the safety and well-being of our dogs. Start here. Start with weight management. Start and help us with the fight of obesity in pet dogs. Do this by starting a routine of portion control. I hope you found this helpful. In the bio of the video, you will find a link to some more information on the topic, as well as access to a body condition scoring chart that you may use to just follow to see if your dog is in good shape or not. Thank you for watching. Goodbye and happy training.